victory lane at Tri-County. And we'll also talk to young Gavan Boschele on his new venture and runner-up finish at Tri-County. And Mason Diaz joins us as the late model stocks head north to compete at Langley Speedway this weekend. Cars Tour Weekly presented by Pepperjack Kennels is next. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by Pepperjack Kennels. I'm Jess Ballard, and we've got Alan Dietz back with us today this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Nobody else would do it. So.
Well, that, and I feel like it's just me being in charge, and you being my co-host is just like...
I know. I feel a little weird about it, but...
Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch any races this weekend?
I did.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I watched ASA race at Hickory Thursday, Friday, the cars race at Tri-County.
And that's about all the good weather we had.
Yeah, but I watched the other races we had on Saturday and Sunday, the Indy 500, and then really did nothing on Monday but watch races.
Yeah.
I did work in the morning, but, you know.
Yeah. Did you stay up for...
Yes, I did.
Dang. Committed. What about Monaco?
Nope. Didn't watch. I was at church.
Gotcha. I never really tune in for that one either.
Yeah.
Well,
qualify is what you need to tune into for it, because then however they qualify is how they end up finishing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's great racing.
Well, before we get started, do you have a furry roommate? Actually, I know the answer to this question.
Well, you know what? I don't think Tammy's that hairy, but I don't know. No,
You're so lucky she doesn't watch these shows.
No, she doesn't watch anything I do, so I could say anything. But I do have a furry roommate, Chopper.
Chopper. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
And Chopper's a beagle, right?
He's a cross between a coonhound and a beagle.
Okay, I see.
And a human.
Compared to the rest of the furry friends we've discussed on this show, I feel like he's the closest to the type of dog that can benefit from our friends at Pepperjack Kennels.
Oh, I would give anything for Pepperjack Kennels to deal with him for just a half a day. Tammy says he's smart.
Well, I think Tammy's right. Well, if you're looking for the best water or land training for your retriever, then look no further than Pepperjack Kennels. I know he's not a retriever, but he could. He's better than my dog's a wiener dog.
Yeah, and who was it? Oh, Kendra had the 3-legged dog last week, right?
She had the 3-legged dog. Then Keely brought Stewie on the show, who's a Maltese, a little. Yeah. Well, anyway, for more information, for those of you that do have retrievers, you can go to pepperjackkennels.com. Now, Alan, unfortunately, the late model stock portion of the old North State Nationals was rained out on Saturday.
Yep, which they're going to run August 19th now.
Yes. But we did get to see last Friday a little bit of pro late model racing.
Yes, and I thought that was a very smart decision by the Cars Tour. They were going to have pro late model heat races or qualifying on Friday, so all the cars were going to be there anyway. And street stocks were going to race on Friday night, so they were all going to be there.
Yeah.
And instead of canceling the whole weekend, I think they did the right thing, because, again, you had a lot of fans between North Wilkesboro and Charlotte that I think went to Hickory on Thursday night. They were planning on going to Tri-County on Friday and Saturday, so they still got to do something on Friday. And then, I mean, there was nothing to be done on Saturday or Sunday.
I think also I always appreciate when a call is made early enough that people can kind of adjust their plans. And it actually worked out a lot better for us. Travis ended up being at the track on Friday. And then we had our Saturday and Sunday to just sit inside and watch it rain.
Sounds fun.
Well, let's look at the highlights. Carson Kvapil making a surprise turn in the pro late model, and Gio Ruggiero in the 24 start up front, with Ruggiero taking the early lead. On a restart, Kvapil takes a more aggressive stand with Ruggiero in turns 3 and 4, and at the same time, George Phillips' night comes to an end against the wall. Next restart, again, Kvapil able to get the advantage over Ruggiero and Cole Butcher. From there, Carson Kvapil takes command as he scores the win, while younger brother and championship contender Caden edges out Cole Butcher for third.
You know, I enjoyed watching that race Friday night. I love Tri-County. In my opinion, it's the best short track in North Carolina as far as the racing goes. Yeah.
That's a statement.
Yeah, I announced there a couple of years before they repaved the turns, and they did a really good job repaving that racetrack because you can run right around the rail, kind of like at a horse race, right down there on the bottom, or you can run up there against the outside wall. So it makes for some really good racing. And the other thing that I liked, the quality of that field was maybe the strongest Cars Pro Late Model Tour quality wise that we've seen. You had Gio Ruggiero, Carson Kvapil, Cole Butcher, William Sawalich. There were some really, Austin McDonald. I mean, there were some really, really strong cars. And, that's the thing I've told the folks there at Cars Tour is, the late model stock is a regional car. You're getting drivers from different places to come drive them. But that pro late model, you can drive it from Nova Scotia to Florida to Alberta to California. And it's a more national car. They run it all over the country. And for the first time, you're getting some of these higher quality pro late model teams like Donnie Wilson, Anthony Campy. You're getting some really good teams out there, and it's showing in the racing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Alan. When we return, we're going to talk to Gavan Boschele. He's joining us fresh off his runner-up finish at Tri-County.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety, providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sports cars drivers. From grassroots to professional racers, HMS Motorsport has over 25 years' experience outfitting drivers with the best gear on the market. Equipped with first-hand product knowledge, our experts are ready to help you select the best harness belts, seats, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. HMS is even the exclusive importer for Schroed belts, Schubert helmets, and Valero base layers. Visit one of our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us online at hmsmotorsport.com, where you can learn the details of our products and order online. Safety starts here.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
The super late models are headed back to Salem Speedway Saturday, June 3rd, as the High Banks come alive with the ASA CRA Super Series, the JAG CRA All-Stars Tour, and the Diesel Boys Gas Series. The Midwest 250 begins with practice at 2:30, qualifying at 5:15, and racing at 7 p.m. For tickets and info, check out SalemSpeedway.com and TrackEnterprises.com. It's the Midwest 250, featuring super late models, pro late models, and street stocks, Saturday, June 3rd.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by Pepperjack Kennels, and joining us now is Gavan Boschele, who has a great Zoom setup, by the way, Gavan.
Thank you.
And we were laughing off air because, so for those of you that don't know, my boyfriend Travis Braden has been working with Gavan kind of from the driver coaching
Is
angle.
the background part of the driver coaching angle?
I'm going to have, no, Travis would have never set that up. He would have never been on top of that. So that did not come from Travis. But Travis texted and was like, hey, Gavin's testing today. So can we push his interview back? And I was like, sure, no problem. So when Gavan hopped on, I was like, Gavan, where are you practicing today? And Gavin's like, I'm not practicing. So testing, he was taking an exam. So how did the exam go?
It was a Spanish exam. It was all right. It was pretty easy, honestly. I have to take like 2 more this week, and then I'm done. And then I have to go back into school next Monday, and then I'm done with school for the rest of the year.
How is it difficult to balance school and racing? I almost feel like when I was in sports in school, the busier I was, the more organized I was.
It's kind of like difficult with school. I don't enjoy it, but I kind of have to do it. It's kind of like hard to work around because I miss so many days. So it's definitely difficult, and I have to like make up a lot of like time after school and stuff like that, and just a bunch of other things that I have to do to like keep my days so I don't like fail because of days.
Yeah, well, I hated school too, but I really enjoyed college. So, tell me about this opportunity with Rackley War. I know you've been doing, the pavement stuff from micro sprints here for the last year and a half or so. And to me, at least by far, this is the best opportunity that you've had, and you went out there and showed it at Tri-County last weekend.
It was really good. Mark and Willie had that car really, really good. I really like all those guys. They do a good job, and Mark does a good job, kind of like help me out, setting the car. It was really, really fast, but I kind of messed up in qualifying. But his car was just so good in the race. I just could really put it anywhere I want. It was fast, and I think if I would have started up front, I think I could have maybe had something for Carson. But we were really, really good our first race, so that's a good thing.
Maybe better coaching too.
Yeah. Travis, what? Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, you know what? And speaking of that, to put on such a great show and have such a great run, well, you got Travis in your ear, man. That says something because
could you hear him?
Because Travis, yeah, Travis. I know what it's like trying to get something done and having Travis in your ear trying to micromanage. I'm just kidding, Travis, if you're watching. But seriously, the kids your age coming up through racing, I feel like you have, and there's a small group of you that have like such a good support system. Obviously, you're having to, you got to graduate and you're having to do the school, but you also you're part of the Chevy development program. And I know that you probably have such great support system and backing there. What's it like being part of a manufacturer, driver development program?
It's pretty cool. Lauren and Josh and Scott, all those guys, they do a good job. And Dan, the trainer, so they all do a good job with me. I can't go in. I can only go in when I don't have school, which is like on Christmas break or spring break. But usually when I'm out of school during summertime, I'll go in Monday through Thursday, because they usually have races on the weekend. But I usually go in and work out every single morning, run, get on, do some sim work, and just Josh from talking about the race from last weekend, kind of coach me through it and kind of tell me what I did wrong, what I can do better, and just kind of a bunch of just mind stuff, mental things. And you do some with Dan, I'll do some workouts, and then Scott, I'll do some sim training and running and kind of endurance stuff with him. So it's really cool to be a part of him, and can't thank him enough.
Well, next time you go to the gym, shoot Travis a text.
It's amazing to me, for the folks that don't understand these development deals, and I'm still learning about them. The amount of training from a workout standpoint, a diet standpoint, a racecraft standpoint. I mean, it's very interesting to me. And you made the move from micro sprints to pro late models. What has been the biggest adjustment for you to get used to?
I think it's like kind of like the feeling of everything, like just getting in the feel of like the car, like cars around me, racing against people, and just like having fenders on my car. I'm a multi-wheel guy, coming from sprint cars and majors to micros, so it's a lot different. So I can kind of get close to people, rub up with people, and just kind of like how much I can push the car and what the limit is. So it's been difficult, but it's been kind of starting to click off. So I think I'm starting to learn a lot more, and as I race more, and I'm starting to get better.
Well, Gavan, I really appreciate you taking time from your studies to talk to us today, and good luck on the rest of the season. It's been so fun to watch you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Well, Virginia's own Mason Diaz will be here next on Cars Tour Weekly as the Cars Tour prep to race in Virginia this weekend. More Cars Tour Weekly presented by Pepperjack Kennels is next.
Be at Oxford Plains Speedway Sunday, June 4th to see the stars and cars of the Oxford 250 as the past super late models hit the track. Past supers will battle it out for 150 green flag laps. Add in past modifieds and the Mad Bombers racing for $500 to win, and you've got an afternoon of fast fun. Be at Oxford Plains Sunday, June 4th, or you can catch it all on Racing America.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
Hi, I'm Mike Hopkins. You're watching Race America.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by Pepperjack Kennels. Now we've got Mason Diaz on the line. Mason, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, both on the Bull Ring and on the Cars Tour show this week, kind of the theme has been everyone is getting back to work and playing catch-up after a very long weekend of racing, raining, sitting in the rain, you know, all that good stuff. So what are you up to today?
Well, I never could. Actually, with the racing canceled, I actually stayed and worked all weekend. Today, I just finished up closing up some lanes up here at Dulles, putting up signs, so the side of the roads and overhead signs. So just finished that up for the day, driving back to the shop right now so I can make some signs inside the shop and get ready for, I guess, to leave Thursday because it's race week again.
Yeah. So we're headed into Langley, which is kind of it's not your home track, but, you know, it's in your neck of the woods, being from Virginia. What are your expectations going into the race weekend?
Yeah, it's somewhat. I've raced there a few times now. I race probably more in Bando's Legends than I have in the late model there. It's in Virginia, but yep, it's still 3 hours away, and depending on traffic, it can be longer. So, really just want to get back. It's my first time there with Chad Bryant Racing. Obviously, my teammate Connor Hall, he's been winning there all year at Langley. So hopefully he's going to pass over the notes to Chad Bryant Racing, and we can have a strong run here.
And Mason, you're going to go there. There's going to be, I don't know, 25, 26, 27 cars, something like that. Langley's pretty flat. I mean, there's flatter racetracks out there. How would you describe it? And depending on where you qualify at, how do you attack this race this weekend?
Kind of take it like you do every race. It's a tire saving race. It's a flat racetrack and it kills the tires. So you kind of just take it more of a riding race, just like you see at Florence, Myrtle Beach. The one thing that's weird this year about Car Store is you don't really see the pace slowing down like we usually see years past. Normally green flag go out, we lose a second, second and a half of speed, but now we're only losing a couple of tenths. So there's no more really riding anymore. You kind of have to maintain your position. I want to say Butterbean there last year, he, dropped to the back, ran 26th or so, and came back and won the race. So there's more than one way to race this race. I kind of think it's wherever you qualify, you can base how you race the race. If you qualify up front, you kind of maintain your position up front. If you qualify in the back, you just kind of ride around and hope their cautions fall your way to get back to the front.
The late model stock scene has obviously it's exploded really since it's been on the rise for the last few years, but since that North Wilkesboro race last year, I feel like it's just gotten so much attention. The Car Store with the new ownership, they are, I think, doing a really great job promoting their drivers, and it just seems like, all of short track racing, it's growing, it's headed in the right direction, but late model stocks specifically are really in a great place right now. What has been your opinion on all of this excitement?
It's been good. Honestly, for the competitor side, we really haven't seen much except obviously more fans coming out of the racetrack and more car count. Everything's really been the same from years past. The schedule's been the same, how the race day flows. Really haven't seen much different than just more cars and obviously a lot more fans in the stands. But it really hasn't changed much of ours except the fact that it's just everyone seems to be in a better mood because whenever something's bigger, everyone just seems happier.
I think you've got a unique perspective. Of course, your dad, Mike, owns Southern National Motorsports Park. And, I've talked to him a few times this year, and the track's gone back under the NASCAR sanction. You've got the Sunday night races, you've got some midweek shows, and then, of course, the Thanksgiving Classic at the end of the year. Kind of playing off of what Jess was saying, what are you seeing there on that local level from a promoter ownership side, and just getting ready again for the Thanksgiving Classic, which will be here before you know it?
It will be. I mean, we're already in basically June now. I think June's tomorrow, right, or next day. So we're already there. So we fire off our second show this year. We had 2 rainouts at Southern so far this year. So we fire off our second one Sunday, June 11th. We went with something different. A couple years ago, I guess 2 years ago now, 2020, 2021, we ran Sundays. And we always average 12 to 16 cars. And we do Sunday day racing, green flag every weekend. It will either be 3 or 3:30. Gates open up at 10:30, and most people are out of there by 6, 7 o'clock. So try to do short days, try to bring as much, honestly, dirt racetrack aspect to it. You get to the racetrack late in the morning and you're gone early. When you go dirt track racing, you don't get there till 5, and it's short rounds of practice and you go racing. So that's kind of what we're trying to bring along for the Sunday shows. So the first race we had was pretty solid. I mean, for our first showing back full time, it was decent. Obviously, the car count wasn't exactly where you want it to be, but people need to get knowing again that, hey, we're full time. People need to come racing with us again. So this is all in preparation for racing the Classic. We have a ton of great new staff. And just trying to prep them for the Classic because it's a hectic weekend. You want to talk about busy weekend, like 12, 13 divisions run over 3 days.
Well, Mason, thanks for joining us today, and good luck this weekend at Langley.
I appreciate it. I just want to real fast thank all my sponsors and thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, man, he's checking those boxes. You're a pro.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned, and we'll preview Langley right after this break.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
Can you believe it? Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanted to make that first lap.
The super late models are headed back to Salem Speedway Saturday, June 3rd, as the high banks come alive with the ASA CRA Super Series, the JX CRA All-Stars Tour, and the Diesel Boys Gas Series. The Midwest 250 begins with practice at 2:30, qualifying at 5:15, and racing at 7 p.m. For tickets and info, check out salemspeedway.com and trackenterprises.com. It's the Midwest 250, featuring super late models, pro late models, and street stocks, Saturday, June 3rd.
Welcome back to Cars Tour Weekly, presented by Pepperjack Kennels. And remember, for world-class retriever training, be sure to check out pepperjackkennels.com.
I'm making a note of that. Pepperjack.
Yeah, for Chopper. All right, so the pro late models are getting a well-earned weekend off, but the late model stocks are returning to action after last weekend's rain out at Tri-County. How many cars do we have on the entry list?
26, 25
We just got an email from Keeley.
25 or 26.
That's
last
pretty strong.
I think it's really strong, and I'll tell you why. You know, the hub of the Cars Tour is around Charlotte.
Yeah.
So when you get farther away, like Langley or Dominion or, you know, tracks like that, you kind of worry about that car count a little bit, you know, those guys that can make that trip. But, you know, the other thing with the Cars Tour, especially with the late model stocks, they've got enough teams based in Virginia and northern North Carolina that I don't think it makes it that bad.
Yeah. Who do we need to keep an eye on this weekend?
Well, I think you and I both know very well, Butterbean Queen and Connor Hall. You know, Butterbean coming off that win at North Wilkesboro. The two of these guys have been going back and forth for the last year or so at Langley in their regular shows. And the defending winner there, or the winner of the last race at Langley, was Butterbean. So I think whoever you are, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
I don't discount other guys. Caden Honeycutt is another one I'm thinking. But I think you're going to have to go through those two. Yeah,
and on top of that, I think we talked about this last show. Butterbean got quite the shout out on the Dale Jr. download, and he just got a lot of love after Wilkesboro, and I think those types of things carry momentum onto the track.
And I have to tell on you just a little bit, because you called me. You called me last week when we were editing the show, and you said that you couldn't sleep because you kept thinking that you had been calling him Butterbean McQueen.
Because I was telling someone asked how recording went, and I was like, oh yeah, when we had Butterbean McQueen on, and they were like, it's Queen. Yeah. And I was like, well, what did I just say? And
you did say a butt bean queen one time, which I enjoyed.
So I did. I texted Alan. I was like, hey, when you're going back and looking at the show, like, please tell me I did not call him McQueen the whole show. And I didn't.
There was one place that you did say Butterbean McQueen, but we actually edited it out. It was nothing that we could use. It was a bad take. So it was going to get edited out anyway. But you even had me sitting there going, did she say Butterbean McQueen? I think I would have noticed.
And everyone was at home in bed. That it was done and over with. If I had already done it, I had made my bed.
And we were on a group text with Kendra Adams, who co-hosted last week, and she said, I think we would have stopped you if you were saying Butterbean McQueen.
Well, if there's one thing I'm known for around here, it's adding extra syllables and
extra takes.
And extra takes when it comes to some drivers' names. So thank goodness that all worked out.
Yeah.
It was so great having you back with us today. I know that you're the bottom of the totem pole and the last man to ask, but we really do appreciate it.
Yeah. You know who asked me to do it?
Yourself.
Our
producer.
That's why I'm the last one. But Keely, they've been, slamming since about the first week of May.
Yeah.
And I know she wants to get back and do the show, but
she's got important stuff to do.
Yeah, she's got to take care of business. Yeah.
Well, I also want to thank our guests this week, Gavan Boschele and Mason Diaz, for being on the show. And remember, for replays of this show and more, go to racingamerica.tv and be sure to check out our Racing America 24/7 channel available on connected devices. And don't forget racingamerica.com, and all of our social channels will have everything, breaking news, race results, anything you can think of when it comes to Cars Tour, the NASCAR Cup Series, and pretty much everything in between.
That's right.
So for Alan Dietz, I'm Jess Ballard saying thanks again for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week on Cars Tour Weekly presented by Pepperjack Kennels. We'll see you then.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
Welcome to Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then Raceface Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today and use invite code RA1.
Hey gang, join Scott Hansen, myself, and a host of other drivers on what will be the largest short track party at sea. Sail Eastern Caribbean on the Norwegian Encore January 7th to the 14th of 2024. Enjoy unlimited drinks, a special question and answer session, and have a chance at racing Scott and myself on the go-kart track. Call Market Memories Travel at 262-527-1341 or visit mymmtravel.com and click on the link to Bickle's Bon Voyage link for information.
Be at Oxford Plains Speedway Sunday, June 4th to see the stars and cars of the Oxford 250 as the past super late models hit the track. Past supers will battle it out for 150 green flag laps. Add in past modifieds and the Mad Bombers racing for $500 to win, and you've got an afternoon of fast fun. Be at Oxford Plains Sunday, June 4th, or you can catch it all on Racing America.